Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions The Breeze, where we bring you the latest in independent films and film festival news. And we are kicking off our coverage of this year's South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin, Texas. We have director Nicholas Clifford here today to talk about the film One More Shot. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Right on. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak on the show. You're zooming in from Australia, so it's 8 in the morning, bright and early, that we can talk about this. So, tell me a little bit about One More Shot.
Cool. So one more shot follows an anaesthetist named Minnie Vernon, who she's 38 and kind of reached the peak of her career. She's really just killing it professionally. And she has this day where she runs into an ex-boyfriend and he's having a baby with his new girlfriend. And it just sort of forces her to question her work-life balance. And then when she finds out an ex-boyfriend is in town from New York, she sets off to get him back. But he turns up with his new girlfriend, and then Minnie discovers the bottle of tequila that she's taken to the party allows her to reset the party. And so in her head, the universe is like, here's 16 cracks at getting Joe back.
Yeah,
And
nice.
then, craziness ensues.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of craziness that comes in the film, and that it's interesting to see the approaches that she takes during each time that she has the ability to have a go at, how the events are going to unfold. Well, when you were working with the writer in regard to the script, how did you know which ones to do in that order of like every time that she took a swig of the tequila?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think when so very early on when you were making like a time loop movie, so naturally we would look at all the time loop movies, and we discovered that with ours, the one of the differences we found was in most time loop movies they're trapped in a time loop trying to escape it,
Mhm.
whereas for our character it was a tool to be used. So it was kind of the opposite of what you'd see traditionally in a film like this, which kind of made it really fun because she had a set number of goes at getting it right. Um, and because of the nature of the character, and this is one thing that I really love about this character, is she didn't really think about it. She just kind of goes for it. And then when it gets hard or difficult, she would just reset it. And I don't know why. I guess it's just my personality, but I really relate to that. And I think it's a really human thing to do where we just like burn it all. And then, I don't know, you hit a point where you'll turn around at one point in life and be like, maybe I should have done this
Done
differently
that
or tried that
differently.
differently. And yeah, so I found that quite relatable and endearing that she would be a bit flippant with it, honestly.
Yeah. She for working with your actors when you were going into each of these takes and that it had to do the loop, did you direct them to say that it was fresh every single time to have the same deliveries for each of the different takes that you did, or was there like how did you blank slate it with everyone for each time you
Sure,
did each, loop?
sure. So interestingly, they're also different actors, and we had like an ensemble cast, and I love working with actors. It's such a good time. So each conversation was different, and each person sort of we worked differently approaching each moment. But to sort of answer your question, for most of the people, they had the backstory up to the moment Minnie arrived. And then from there, they just had to sort of play the situation that was before them. So if she came in, you know, worked up or whatever, they would have to just react to that in the moment based on the information that they have. Whereas for Minnie, for Emily, she had to carry it all with her through every take. And it was quite fun to there's these doorway scenes that we did like 16 of them or something. And we would start each day with one of those.
Yeah.
So it was really neat to like just recalibrate every time. Where are we at? Where are we going? What's just happened? And just get everyone aligned. And then we could jump into it.
Yeah.
But it was honestly a really fun path of discovery with each actor individually about how we kind of access these different scenes and moments.
I got to give you some love also for a song that I completely forgot that existed, and then you brought it back with this. This takes place in the '90s, and
Yeah,
I grew up in the '90s, so
awesome.
we're picking Coco Jumbo, which is a song that like I totally forgot was a thing, and then I was like, oh, this song I've heard it so many times, but I like
Awesome.
totally forgot about it. How did you pick that as the song that you wanted to play every time over and over again for each of the loops?
Yeah, so music's a big thing in this. So, and maybe I'll have a crack at the log line again. But one thing I forgot was that so the film is set in 1999 on New Year's Eve in Australia. So music was a really big part of it, and we trialed a lot of different songs in the cut, which was really neat. And we got to just sort of walk back through that whole decade, which was rich for music. And somewhere in the middle was the reality of where artistry and budget collide. We were really fortunate that we had partners that were understanding that the music was as important to the film as kind of anything else, really. So we're able to get some really great tracks in there. The one song that had to be committed to in pre-production was the dance song because we had
Yeah.
to choreograph to it and all the rest. So that one we trialed. I think it got like down to this short list. And it was that and a couple of other ones, but ultimately I was just like, that just sounds like a song that Rodney would get and put on and be like, come on, everyone, let's do this thing. Yeah, so it was more coming to that through Rodney's eyes, really, to arrive at that song.
Oh, it was a classic, and I was glad to hear it again because I completely forgot about it. And I said, "Oh yeah, this song is great," and it definitely brought the party for that scene. And then
Yeah.
one of the other things I wanted to talk about was some of the stunt work that you did. One of the things that she does can be kind of challenging, obviously, that she has to get him alone into the bathroom, and then she walks through the door. That looked pretty painful. Did that take a couple of takes to do?
One take. I had one
Oh,
take and one reset. It's quite a timely on our scale. We're kind of moving quickly, and I tried to prioritize sort of performance time. So to take one step back, my whole approach to it was to sort of lean into things that made a 90s film a 90s film, and that meant using techniques and technical sort of approaches to the shots and the blocking and all, to make it have a bit of that feeling.
yeah.
And then so within all of that, it was about prioritizing performance. And so a shot like that was one of the scenes where I brought a couple of cameras out. We used a stunt double, of course, who was really awesome. And yeah, we did one take and then we were sort of reviewing it on the day. And I could have gone for one more, but it would have cost, hours. And I felt we had it. So it was cool to just sort of get it in one and then move on.
It was smooth. It was smooth, and definitely had the impact with everybody that was at the party to react to it. And then you
Yeah.
walked over to the beautiful tequila to take that swig and then reset everything. So it makes you be wary when you're in Mexico and you're drinking things because it may have a magical caterpillar at the bottom of it, which does all of the looping. I definitely enjoyed the film, and you are going to be screening at South by Southwest this year. Do you know when and where you'll be premiering the film?
Yeah, the 7th at 3 p.m. at the Violet Crown, and
Okay.
then the 12th at 10 p.m. at the Violet Crown as well. So we're taking over, I think, four cinemas there, which will be fun. I'm really interested to see an audience's reaction to it, honestly.
Wonderful. You're going to have plenty of people there at South by because the festival is massive and that everybody is looking for really great new independent films. So, coming all the way from Australia to showcase the film, one more shot. We have director Nicholas Clifford. Thank you again for taking the time to speak with us today about the film premiering One More Shot at South by Southwest this year.
Thanks for having me.